Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1592B, and today's date is June 14th, 2018, and the title of the episode is Deep State Modified Report Released. Next phase, DECLAS it all. Let's get into the economic collapse, political, and geopolitical news. Now, the Department of Justice released an IG report on the Clinton email probe, faults Comey, notes FBI agent very hostile against Trump, and after various leaks, first to Bloomberg, then to Fox, then to CNN, and many other outlets, finally the Department of Justice released to the public the Inspector General report of the Clinton email probe, which, while hammering James Comey for being insubordinate and showing poor judgment during the 2016 election, it found no evidence to show his key decisions in the Clinton email investigation were improperly influenced by political bias. Paradoxically, the same report also raised swirling questions about the role of the FBI counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok, whose text with FBI lawyer Lisa Page, the IG found, suggested he might be willing to take official action to impact Trump's electoral prospects, or as one might put it, clear bias against Trump. Now, the IG report does not fault the FBI for not charging Clinton. It did find that, not surprisingly, Comey used personal email for official business. The report also found that the 5 FBI officials expressed hostility towards Trump before the election and says, in a report to Congress, that their actions have been referred to Bureau for Possible Disciplinary Action. Furthermore, and this is where Andrew McCabe may want to get concerned, the Department of Justice Inspector General also has opened additional probes into leaks. Now, there was a small bit of the report where it had a new revelation, and this was with Strzok, who told Page, "We'll stop it when asked. Trump's not ever going to become president. Right. That was a text. And that text, the report said, was indicative of a biased state of mind and suggested that Strzok may have intentionally slow-rolled the review of emails connected to the Clinton investigation discovered after the probe was closed. Now, when we look at all this, we can say, nothing really new. I mean, it seems like there's no bombshell, nothing happened. And if we look at the report a little bit closer and what the corporate media was showing us before to today, we can see that the corporate media left out the text message that said, no, he's not, we'll stop it. They left that out when they were reporting all the text messages, but the OIG recovered the text using their independent forensics. And that text message was not included in the corporate media when they were putting stuff out about Strzok's texting with Page. So that was completely left out. Now, the IG found, the Inspector General found that Obama was one of the 13 individuals with whom Clinton had direct contact using her Clinton email. Now we know why Clinton was never going to be charged with anything related to her secret email scheme, because Obama was part of it and there were 13 others. They all knew about it. Now, everyone's probably thinking, okay, we got the IG report. Really nothing in there. Nothing's going to happen. We need to go back to Q's post 1496, June 13th. And we talked about this, but we need to review it once again to see what Q is saying and how it makes sense now. POTUS is in possession of and reviewing the original IG unredacted, unmodified report. So number 1, they said, Q said, original IG unredacted report. Number 2, modified. So POTUS is looking at the modified IG unredacted report. Rod Rosenstein version. Number 3, modified Inspector General redacted report. Rod Rosenstein version. Number 4, Inspector General summary notes. Obstructions to obtain select info classified. So what was going to be released today? Well, Q told us it was going to be number 3. Modified Inspector General redacted report, the Rod Rosenstein version. This was done on purpose. Yes, there was a little bit out there to give everyone a little bit, like the extra text message, to give everyone a little bit of what is happening. Comey was saved. He didn't really do anything wrong. And we can see in the report that 13 were involved with the email, but it really didn't go into depth. So what's going to happen now? Well, Q told us what was going to happen. Q went on to say, who has the sole ability to declassify it at all? POTUS. Did you witness the stage being set today? Nunes, Grassley, Freedom Sea, push for docs, Rod Rosenstein in the kill box, central figure within docs, personally involved, known conflict, immediate impeachment, resignation, termination, recusal, if ever brought to light. Be loud, be heard, fight for truth. Q. All of this is part of the plan. Actually, Q told us this was going to happen before it even happened. That this was the version of the report that was going to be out there. And everyone's out there, and their guard is now down. POTUS has the real report. He knows what it says. He knows what's in there. The question is he going to make the next move and declassify it all? Hopefully, yes, because this is what Q has been telling us, that he has the power to do all of this. Let's see if it's done. If we go out to Germany right now, we see Merkel is in big trouble. Now, we talked about immigration before and how the European countries, well, they're not going along with Soros's plan where he wants to bring the refugees and have open borders and blend the countries together. Merkel was on board with this. Macron is on board with this. Italy is not. Czech Republic not. Poland not. And now Germany is having a problem, and it looks like there's another political crisis on hand, and this could be a big one because it's right in the middle of Europe's growth dynamo ground zero. A rebellion over immigration in German Chancellor Angela Merkel's conservative bloc is threatening the stability of her fragile coalition. And it looks like all her talking and trying to smooth out the situation, it looks like it is not working right now. And Merkel is facing rebellion from her hardline interior minister, Horst Seehofer, who demands that German border police be given the right to turn back migrants without identity papers or who are already registered elsewhere in the European Union. Countries are starting to look at the situation, and they're starting to fight back, slowly but surely. And this is going to spread, as we see it is spreading right now. We see Putin right now is going to be meeting with Kim Jong-un, and it looks like Kim Jong-un is going to visit Russia, and I think Kim Jong-un is going to be visiting many, many different places since the peace summit. Trump said there's going to be no more drills in the Korean Peninsula, and the Pentagon has now officially said yes, the drills have been canceled. South Korea, Moon Jae-in, president there, said yes, the drills are going to be canceled, and it looks like the drills are not going to be happening in this area. We see U.S. Turkey, they agree to force the YPG out of Manbij in July, and it looks like they're going to be pushing the YPG out of this area, and this was the agreement that they were working on, and it looks like they have agreed. It looks like military commanders from Iraq, Syria, Iran, Russia, they're meeting in Baghdad right now, and they're talking about the battle against terrorism in all these countries. And it looks like Russia is heading up this meeting with all the commanders from these areas to go after the terrorist groups, which is the paid mercenary for the deep state. And right now, the deep state is in a lot of trouble. And this is why we're looking out for an event. And we might see something big happening very, very soon. Assad is becoming more and more brave. He's out there giving televised interviews, and now he's actually naming different countries where he's saying that America, French, Turkish, Israeli troops are present in his country. They are occupying forces, and they need to leave. They invaded the country. Now, he did say something very interestingly about the southwest part of Syria, where the Al-Tanf base is and where Israel is he's saying we're going to give the political process a chance. If that doesn't succeed, we have no other option but to liberate it by force. Now, the political process that he's talking about is having the coalition troops leave this area and having Syria come in and take control, actually Russia come in and take control of this area. And I think this is why Iran is involved, trying to get Iran to remove its forces. And once they remove the forces, then the other troops, the Israeli troops, the U.S. troops, the French troops, the Turkish troops, most of them are going to leave this area. And I think this is the political process that he's talking about, and it's ongoing right now. And hopefully in the next month or 2 or 2 months, we're going to see an announcement made, just like we did in North Korea. And again, we have to remember what Q says. 11/11 of this year is very important. This is Veterans Day. This is the parade that he's talking about. This is the day that World War I ended. And Q has been telling us that this is going to be the parade of parades that the U.S. is not going to forget. And what I think is going to happen during this period of time is we're going to see a lot of the troops that have come home from all these different areas. Now, others have suggested that we might see a perp walk where we might see Clinton and others, paraded down the streets as treasonous criminals, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Q is talking about having our troops home, showing that these wars have ended and we're out of that area. Just like most likely we're going to see some troops come home from South Korea because eventually they'll no longer be needed there. Now, Q has dropped some more breadcrumbs for us. And basically, Q is out there telling us that Rod Rosenstein is finished. Now, we did read the post 1496 when we talked about, the modified IG report. This is the Rod Rosenstein version. And basically saying that he is the individual that is on the chopping block. Now, Q also gave us a picture of an airplane from a car. And it looks like the little saying is United on the plane. You see the engine, and it says, "Thank you, USSS." Now, a closer look at this, we can see that it is United Airlines, and there are 2 individuals sitting in a vehicle, and one person, a woman, it looks like it's a woman on the right-hand side, has a phone looking at the plane. So we need to go back to Q drop 753, where Q says, and this is February 13th, 2018, because it looks like this picture is from a couple months ago. Think image drop. Think OP. Think United. When does a bird sing? Everything has meaning. And this isn't the tarmac meeting he's talking about. That happened on a private jet, not a commercial United flight. And besides this, the Boeing 737 is a commercial plane. Now, the car itself is also a Mercedes S-Class, and it looks like it's parked in a hangar, meaning it's probably maybe San Francisco. So who was in San Francisco and who were they meeting with? Q mentions think image drop. What image? It might be this image, because it's drop number 752. And the caption here from Q says, "I hear Hanoi is educational. Q." And she's in Hanoi, Vietnam, in this pic. Would that require a layover in San Fran? Or maybe she left from San Fran? I think we have a potential candidate for who was on the plane. She does fly commercial, after all. And when we look at this, we can see Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was recently spotted flying commercially from Washington, D.C. to New York City, and this was back in February of 2013. And that photo that we had before was taken in August of 2015, which would be before Justice Scalia's death in 2016. So we need to go to April 15th for the drop, post 1161. SC Supreme Court, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, as 187 Clown Black Brennan. Q then adds, "We made sure a reporter was there to capture these people. They are stupid." I wonder what reporter was sitting there capturing all this. So is this the photo of the reporter who was there to capture it all? Look again at the photo of Q, and there's a woman sitting there. Is this woman Maria Bartiromo? Because if we look at another photograph of Trump, Maria is sitting right behind him. So this could be the reporter they sent over. Now, if we look at Q post 1498, this is June 14th, Q put up another post here and said Rod Rosenstein approved signed FISA warrant application to extend surveillance on POTUS and others. What evidence to support? Snowball. Killbox Rod Rosenstein at White House. Why was Rachel Brand removed? Critical thinking Q. Well, we know that Rachel Brand was removed, even though the corporate media was saying that she left on her own accord. But it looks like she was actually let go. And this means that Sessions can take control of all of this. Bring in Huber to work with Horowitz. And this is what they've been planning all along. Now, Q dropped another post, 1499, June 14th, and this was a tweet by Trump. What is taking so long with the Inspector General's report on crooked Hillary and slippery James Comey? Numerous delays. Hope report is not being changed and made weaker. There are so many horrible things to tell. The public has the right to know. Transparency. Basically letting us know that this report that was released, that is out there, is changed, modified, and very weak. He has the real one. He has the one with everything in there. He knows what it says. So we're waiting for the fireworks. And hopefully, according to Q and according to what they planned here, we're going to see them. And I don't think it's going to be months from now. I think it's going to be maybe days or weeks from now when all of this starts to come out and Trump moves to declassify all of this and the real report is pushed out there. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.